What's going on, you beautiful, beautiful people out there?
Beautiful, beautiful.
You know, we had a little bit of a false start in the news. People thought that we were going to have a sale that was imminent. And then instead,
Wrong.
had more people join the ownership bidding fray. So you know what? It is what it is. Let's be patient. If you know people are interested, the sale will happen. Be patient, be calm. But you know what? Don't be calm right now, because Command This is starting right now.
Now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's March.
Children of all ages.
March 23rd, and children of all ages, even though this podcast is not safe for you without your parents' consent. YouTube lets us know that every day.
Podcast. I question a lot of your decisions in life.
YouTube lets us know this podcast is not safe for children. Don't worry, we know. It's not safe for adults half the time either, but that's all right. That is all right. I digress. So good evening. This is episode 190. Everyone loves magic. Everyone loves magic, right? Who doesn't love magic? Who doesn't love magic, right?
Oh, it's magic.
Yeah, oh, it's magic. You know, Dev is not here because he's having some difficulties. Like last time. Oh, man. Hey. Shout out Yam from Japan joining us. Saying morning, gents. And Phil, this is good evening for us. Good morning for you. He also has
good morning, Japan, and Yam.
A random. Says random note. Salute to Ash Ketchum, Satoshi in Japan. 26 years of Ash and Pikachu being the main characters of the anime comes to an end today. I wish I had more background for that. I mean, I kind of get it in concept. Dev would probably know better than all of us if he could
Pokemon.
Join.
They're going to have
I do know that. It is
main
Pokemon.
Characters for Pokemon.
Yes. Fair.
And you know what? I didn't know that until I read Yam's comments.
I mean, I know who Pikachu is.
I mean, honestly, like, you know, I have a very limited file on anime.
Yeah.
I will watch Cowboy Bebop over and over and over again. But that's about how far it goes.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But salute to that. 26 years of any character being a main character of a show. That's an impressive run of popularity, period.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get that. Can you imagine doing this 26 years from now there, Steve?
Yeah, that would be old shit.
Hopefully we're making money on it by then.
Probably not.
We're still gonna knock at guests from the team. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little inside baseball here.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yam, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it all the way from around the world. We appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully we'll get some more guests in here shortly. Like I said before, this is episode 190. 190. Yes, we are in 1080p. I think we're always in 1080p, if I'm not mistaken, but it just depends on your YouTube settings at the bottom right. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure we always have 1080p checked. And yes, Headband, Believe, Ted Lasso, season 3 just started. Big fan. Yam says, Phil, you should watch Outlaw Star. You would probably like it if you like Bebop that much.
I don't have time to watch all the TV we talk about after this podcast, let alone find new anime.
Oh, really? Huh.
Let me get through this master's degree that I'm this close to finishing first.
Oh, I know. Oh, said most people I watch are in only 720. Hey, you know what? Well,
you know what? If you look at me, you're like, God damn, this guy's coming in too clear, his ugly ass. You can turn down your definition. That's the best I could do for you.
Yeah, I feel you. Marcus has joined the room. Marcus, thank you for joining. Go check out SportsView 2 on the Facebook. He says, "What's up, family?" Ryan Elias joined us from Facebook. Ted Lasso is the ish. Yes, it is. Episode 2 just came out yesterday. I haven't watched it yet for season 3, but had watched episode 1. I'm excited. Another season. Love the show. Big fan. Big fan. He says the MSU and KSU game is nuts. Nuts, huh? Well, before we get into it, I'm going to tell you who I have winning in my bracket. I have 12 of 16 teams still alive in my bracket. That's insane. I picked some stupid upsets, and
Steve's
not
going to
because
make
I'm
that
smart.
DraftKings money.
Not because I'm smart. Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. They are in the Midwest. Is that who? No, they are in the West. No.
Hey, shocker!
Yeah.
This team right here came 5 points away from the Sweet 16. That's amazing. Penn State basketball.
Number 10 seed. I picked them to upset in the first or the second round, but I picked them. Trail from Facebook. What's good, Trail? Thank you for joining, bro. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yam said his bracket died in round 32. Yeah, well, Virginia kind of did it. Purdue kind of did it. They weren't helping anybody out with anything. Thank you. That's why it's called March Madness.
Virginia.
All right, well, let's get right into it. Like I said, we call this episode "Everyone Loves Magic." Who doesn't love Magic? Magic Johnson's joined the team. He's joined the Mitch Rails and Josh Harris team. That's a big deal. That's big news.
So I got to learn a little bit about Mitch Rails. As we know, he's a local guy. And he actually he's the reason why we have Sports Talk Radio in DC. Him and his brother started the Team 980 before it was on 980. When it was back at like 6:30 or whatever it was.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes. Wow. Back in 92. So the fact and we had no sports talk in the city of DC before that. So if you like Kevin Sheehan, if you like, if you were a fan of Al Galdi, if you like B. Mitch, if you like Steve Zabin, if you like, the guys over at 106.7 The Fan, the whole reason The Fan was created was to compete with WTEM. So Team 980 was originally by the Rails. And no, they did not sell it to Snyder. They had sold it to someone else who then sold it to Snyder.
Yeah.
Who then sold it off and so on and so forth. But I just figured we put that out there because we really didn't talk about how Mitch Rails actually has a tie to DC sports in a way and how fans view DC sports. And a lot of that comes from Sports Talk Radio, especially back in the 90s when Sports Talk Radio really blew up. They were right on the cutting edge of that. And they brought in guys from WFAN in New York to get the thing started, and that's how they were able to get that to take off pretty quickly. And they got the rights to the Redskins games back in the day. So yeah, the man does have connections to sports in this city, just not in a traditional sense.
Okay, I mean for Magic specifically, we know Josh Harris. He owns the Philadelphia 76ers and New Jersey Devils. First and foremost, not cool with that, but I get it. I just don't hope he brings some of that Philly Jersey stink down here to DC. I mean, and when you're trying to get a new stadium, if you're the head honcho, you know what I mean? Like, is there not conflict of interest, but somewhere something's got to be priority? Is it going to be the Commanders? I don't know. And Mitchell Rails,
whoever is making you the most money.
Yeah, Rails had been with Harris first, but between the three of them, they have a combined estimated $12 billion worth. But Magic was also part of Harris's bid last year to purchase the Broncos, who eventually, as you know, got sold to the Walton family for $4.65 billion. So Magic is doing his thing. So Magic, he's part owner of the Dodgers. He's a businessman. He's moving on up. I'd like to see it. It'd be cool. He would bring a lot of.
He's a business Man.
Not a let me hit on my business, damn. Yeah, I do want to show one tweet here from a gentleman named Travis Ramo. If you follow him on Facebook, he's good follow. I think I've been following Travis for a while here. Let me pull this up. It's a good tweet. He just shows. Let me show you Travis's face. I'll tweet him after this and say, giving you a shout out. He just lists the net worth of all three of those individuals, and you can see what they're talking about. And not all of these billionaires have this money, liquid, like the ability I can pull it in my bank account and just spend it. Unless you're Jeff Bezos, then you probably can't do that. But he just wanted to show that someone's going to have to take on a bunch of debt. Like it says $1.1 billion of debt, but how are they going to come up with $6 billion basically in cash? And it's going to be hard. Too much.
They're not.
And
I don't know if anyone thinks that this is going to be a cash purchase with no debt leveraged.
Yeah. And most of their money's tied up into things like this. So that's why you have to have additional investors come on who can provide those liquid assets to help make the purchase. You know what I mean? But anyways, I thought this was a good tweet. Travis, thank you.
I think he did lowball some of those. Now, granted, you can't trust a lot of those net worth estimates you find online.
Yeah.
But I think he lowballed a couple of them too. I mean,
he was just going off the premise that billionaires have 25% liquid cash available. It was just a generic. Doesn't mean it's true. He just used the number that was in the article.
I'm just talking about I'm talking about the figures he used for how much their net worth is. I think he did lowball. I know he lowballed Magic Johnson.
He's around 800 from what I've read.
I've seen 800 to 900.
Yeah. Go get you some Magic.
So nonetheless, I mean that you're talking about a couple $1 billion at that point.
Yeah.
The difference, but still.
Yeah. Greg Delaney, Facebook. Thank you, Greg, for joining us. I'm a fan of Magic Johnson, the player, greatest point guard of all time. Not a fan of Magic Johnson, the GM of the Lakers. Well, I mean, let's hope he if he is part of this group, I think him being here.
We're not bringing him in to make personnel decisions.
No. And what I've also read is that Josh Harris also sits in the background. He is not I'm out in front, I'm Jerry Jones. Like, he is in the shadows. And other people tend to be the face of the media, and that would be
That's
Magic
where
Johnson.
I think Mitch Rails is going to be. Here's the thing. I think if those three were to get it, just my own estimation, I think Harris is the guy who sits in the background. Mitch Rails is your public mover and shaker, and Magic Johnson is your public face.
Either way, it's not Dan Snyder, so it's cool.
Exactly.
Yam says, I'm out on Sheehan. Can't deal with Lavero. I don't like most of 106.7 either. I listen to JP and B Mitch, but I take issues with them as well. And Deb is in the building. Thank you.
You tell me that Yam doesn't like Tom Lavero.
I basically had to start a whole new account.
What?
I don't know. It was either making me go start a new account at work, or if I try to go in my login, it was freezing every time. I don't know.
Well, we're getting cybered here by ourselves, but it doesn't matter. The trio's back. Dev, thank you for joining us. Yam also says Kime and Bram, a few other people from 980, Galdi, and several podcasts and YouTubers I follow are about it anymore outside of Twitter follows. Yeah, I mean, everyone consumes different content. Totally respectable. Marcus says Josh Harris and Magic Johnson would be a great combination for ownership. I think a lot of people feel that way too. You can't go wrong with that. My only thing is, I don't think Harris is a Philadelphia homer, which is okay. Because if he was, then I would have a problem with that.
He's not a North Jersey guy, I believe.
Yeah,
at heart,
okay.
Which a little bit easier to swallow. But again, I think that's why you got to think Mitch Rails has almost the same net worth, as Josh Harris. So it's nice that we have, even if you have that kind of Philly attitude in it, you have a local guy that's gonna be on equal footing that can say, "Look, I got just as much money as everybody."
We ain't wait out this long to get no regular ass dude, man. Bezos a bust, bro.
Scared money don't make money, Dad. Right.
We ain't come over here. I want Showtime in the front office, man. I don't want no Boring.
Get us on Hard Knocks. Yim says so much misinformation and smoke screening going on out there right now, especially on Twitter. I'm at a point where it's like, shut up until the deed is done. Yeah, there's a dude named Commander's Post. He's like, oh, trust me, my inside sources say it's the Josh Harris
That guy.
and then all of a sudden, don't worry, the deal's done. And then it's like, well, it's not going to happen till May, but trust me, the deal is done. And they had dinner in Bethesda the other day, and you know what? I screenshotted it all.
Any of the guy who said he was going to take pictures of them celebrating in the back room because he heard them?
Oh, man.
Yeah, when did those pictures ever surface?
So much smoke, but you know what? It's fun. It's fun. This is what we do between the off season and the draft because we had nothing else to talk about. So,
and how is that dude in the same restaurant as someone like a Josh Harris and Mitch Rails? Unless he's the bus boy.
But new owner, new quarterback, potentially new stadium. It sounds like a good recipe for Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks. I would love to see us on Hard Knocks. Ron would church it up for the camera. I think it would be cool. Yeah. Marcus said, I hope they keep Jason Wright. I believe without Dan Snyder, he will make a great team president. I think he would too. I think he just, he had to put up with a lot of things. But once again, though, we don't know how much he had his hands in the business. We don't know. And Greg Delaney says, what's up with the Dark Horse new name release yesterday? On that note, Greg, this is the gentleman who you're talking about. His name is, I'll leave your comment up.
Apostolopoulos.
Apostolopoulos.
It takes me a second, but I can get Greek names.
He is
Dr.
Greek.
Papadopoulos from Webster.
George Papadopoulos and Webster. Great show, by the way. Yes. Billionaire from Canada. Phil says it one way. I say Poulos. Phil says, what'd you say? Paulos? Canadian billionaire. He toured the stadium yesterday, the day before. He's only one of the three bidders. We know of the Harris Group with Magic and Rails. And then we know of now Steve Apostolopoulos. And then we know of Tilman Feritta as well, who you don't hear about anymore. We don't know anything about Jeff Bezos, whether he actually bid or not. But Apostolopoulos was recently in talks to buy the Hornets.
Can we just call him Steve Canada?
Steve. We'll call him Steve Canada. Stevie C Stevie C was in talks to buy the Hornets from Jordan. But then he changed his focus to the Commanders. So I think that's kind of cool that, he's a founder of a company called Six Ventures Incorporated. It's a private equity venture firm. Go figure. Not surprising. Born in Toronto, attended Harvard, contributes to a wide variety of philanthropic organizations. That tends to be in every story. I think that's a PR thing, right? That you're philanthropic, whatever you want to call it.
Tax shelter.
So yeah, that's cool. New person, right? New person, new flavor. We don't know much about him. I would love to know more about him. Like, what's his background? What is he going to bring to the table? What's his net worth? I probably need to look up his net worth. Not sure.
While you look that up, let's realize that as much as people want to dump on Michael Jordan, the owner, he's about to get tenfold his money back on his investment on buying the Hornets.
Oh yeah,
because he bought them for $175 million. Or bought in his ownership, and he's about to make like $1.75 million.
It's crazy.
It's multiplying your number by 10 times.
He doesn't need it. He's got the shoes.
Let's be real. If Jordan wants to join one of these ownership groups, I wouldn't blame him.
Let him. Yam says Hard Knocks is a curse, but I still want it just because I want all the content I could get. Yam, that's the only reason why I wanted to. It's not because it is a curse, but I just want all the content consumption I could possibly get. I think that would be cool. And this team, Yam says this team straight up doesn't get any respect from the national fan base. Hard Knocks could change some of that. They probably would see Ron being hard ass.
Be careful what you wish for. That's when you find out where the laughing stop.
Maybe. I don't know if we would be the laughing stock.
Hard Knocks basically got John Gruden hired here. Jay Gruden, rather. Basically, Hard Knocks.
Oh, when they did the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. As soon as I seen that, then I was like, is that the nigga from Louisville? And it was. I was like, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Eric Bieniemy coming off a Super Bowl win. Like the storylines are all it's all there. It really is.
It is.
If they came from Louisville, Dev gets happy.
Yeah. I don't know. Not if it's Gerard Christensen. Or
you still never get his name right.
Man, I didn't like him at Louisville, man. He was always getting Lamar jacked up. Didn't like him.
Yeah. Yam says, Dev, look at Detroit last year. It turned a lot of people who were laughing them into fans just from seeing their coaches and
they make the playoffs. Like right Detroit basically did what we do every year, man. Almost make the playoffs.
No, Detroit went from being like 1-16 to
not making a playoff,
a 500 team. That's we were never that.
We won what 3 or 4 games, and then all of a sudden won Super Bowl. Dog, that ain't shit. Hey, I'm telling you, we
were never that bad. No, I think Detroit is going to be. They're going to be even better this year.
If Detroit gets a defensive end, man, they're going to be stupid nasty.
Yeah, and I didn't have faith in their coaching system because Dan, what's his name? Dan Quinn. I'm having a brain fart on that coach, football player. Dan Campbell. Sorry, yes. His whole coaching staff are nothing but former players, and nobody's ever done that before.
I ain't gonna lie. I was low key feeling Mark Brunell.
Mark Brunell, quarterback coach, right?
If we didn't get Eric B, I was low key feeling Mark Brunell.
Yeah, he was a quarterback coach, Mark Brunell. Interesting. It's crazy, right? He said, Yam says, I wasn't talking about the record, talking about perception from people that they don't typically care about the team being covered.
Man, I don't know. I work with most of the people I work with are from Detroit, and they like that team is ass. They don't like them. Like it's one
they've been bad for so long.
Like the Knicks, man. It's like you gotta believe it to see it. You know what I'm saying? Wait till it happens. And I wouldn't be surprised though. Like if you're in that division, do you think the Packers are taking a step back? Because I think the Bears are taking a step forward, and I think the Lions, man, the Lions nail another defensive pick like they did last time.
Yeah, the Packers could be at the bottom. Packers could see themselves at the bottom for the first time in
players though.
Since when? Since before Brett Favre?
Tampa Bay in that division?
No, it's Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay, and Chicago.
Okay, that's right.
So all those teams except for Green Bay are taking a step forward. Lazard is on the Jets already, just waiting for Aaron Rodgers to show up. So
would you give up a first for Aaron Rodgers knowing he might only play 1 year and he's 37 or some shit?
Yeah.
Like look, you could. He's worth it, but I'm like, man, I would play. Nobody else wants him. Nobody else can afford him, but me. I would give you first. I'd be like, I can.
You know why? Because this team, to me, is kind of built. It's ready to go. You just need a quarterback. Which is
tell me I gotta give you 3 or 2 first-round picks and pay $70 million for Aaron Rodgers at 37, and you don't know if he's gonna play next year. I'm gonna say no. But
why don't you have to give 2 first-round picks though?
Because
they
want picks. They want picks, man. They want picks back. That's what Green Bay wants. They want multiple first-round picks. And the Jets are like, I ain't giving you 1. I'm not even giving you 1, bro. What? You got to get rid of them. No one else can afford them. What if Aaron Rodgers shows up to camp, bro? Like Favre did. Remember when Favre was going through it? He showed up at camp, fucked all Green Bay shit up.
Yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised, man.
Is that what Green Bay wants? Is that the going rate? 2 firsts?
And they definitely want a first and another high round pick. They want a first and another high round pick. They don't know if it's a second or third. Yeah. But Jets are like, I ain't even giving you 1 first. That's stupid.
I didn't know it was that high.
I can give you the $70 million to take them off your hands, or I can give you a first. It ain't gonna be both, bro. And if the Jets make it last, I think June 1st or something, then Green Bay will be on the hook for that money.
Yeah.
So if I'm Green Bay, if I'm the Jets,
Ron Rivera is not playing like this is his last year as a head coach. Let me tell you that straight up. He is not. Because if he was, I think he would have went after Lamar or somebody else. He's a man playing like he's got time.
They got $100 million in cap space next year. You can still do it.
He's a man playing like he's got time and plenty of time. He's not playing. He's not acting desperate.
What's the rumor about Cam Newton, though? Did y'all already talk about that?
We did not. Oh, you know what? I wanted to talk about Cam Newton. We did not. So Cam Newton, we'll just throw it in here real quick.
Cam Newton, I'm still right. To let you know,
he threw at the Auburn Pro Day.
Did you do that? I missed it.
It looked okay. It was nothing. It was nothing crazy. You know what I mean?
Like a second or third string quarterback.
He is. Did you see the promo video where he said, there ain't 32, motherfuckers better than me. Yes, there are. I think all 32.
Really?
Yeah. I maybe like 27, 28.
Who will be close? Who will be close
to Cam Newton?
Right
now?
Right. Like, who would you say? Maybe he can get that guy. Maybe would it be Hal? Like,
that's
would
the
he
problem.
Start in Tampa Bay? Would he start in Tampa Bay right now?
Cam Newton is proven. Hal is unproven. Now, would I do it? Is he better? Maybe. But would I do it? No, absolutely not.
If you're Tampa Bay, you wouldn't bridge to that guy, Cam Newton.
Maybe.
Atlanta. Just saying, like,
yeah. Well, Atlanta has Taylor Heinicke.
If he's not the number one, he's clearly better than number two. You wouldn't like to have
he
Cam
could
Newton
easily be a backup anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would take him at third. If you want him to come in here and sit down, man, what if you just dressed him every game and all he did was a Jalen Hurts quarterback sneak on 3rd and 1?
Yeah,
man, I would love that. I'd take that option all day. All you gotta do is play 3rd and 1, one and first and goal. Shit, 4th and inches. Cam Newton in there. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Tripping.
Like Marcus, I think his career is probably close to the end. He could be a backup if he goes in and says, listen, I'm going to be like he did in Carolina. I'm a backup. I'm here to win. I'm here to support. But I don't think he wants to. Have you seen the video, Dev?
No, I haven't watched. I've seen the video pumping up the
AIM-32 people better than me.
Yeah, I've seen that, but I didn't see the actual throwing.
I mean, it's not. There's everyone's just posting the bad throw. He does this play where he rolls out and throws, and he tries to throw deep, and it's not good. He's like super short, but I'll share it anyways, real quick. Check it out.
We're gonna be demonetized. So hold on, here it comes.
This is off someone's cell phone, so can you hear it? I'll turn it down.
Cam looks good though, man. He looks like he's staying in shape.
Yeah.
That shoulder, man, just fucked.
He's calling out the mic.
Oh.
No, he underthrows this ball severely. Not that one. There's another one he underthrows.
He threw it right with his back shoulder too, or back foot, back leg.
Like it's nothing crazy. It's some loft balls. It's some outs, but it's not like a real pro. See, it's nothing. He threw the ball 30 times. All right, won't share anymore, but you get the idea. So that was the buzz around Twitter. That was the buzz around Twitter. It was, take it for what you want. Marcus says Cam Newton's career is over. Yam says Cam wouldn't sign to be a backup, but I would gladly take him as one.
Yes, he would. He would definitely sign as a backup. I think he would come here as a third. Honestly, I think he would do it for Ron.
Yeah. Yam says staying in shape from all that scrumping. Doesn't he have like 8 kids like the Nick Cannon of NFL? Yes, he has. I heard this the other day, 7 with 1 or 6 with 1, 2
man,
with the other.
Why are we worried about how many kids he got? He could afford every last one of them.
He sure can.
And he can't afford the one they got.
He can afford the child support to go with.
Yeah, he got all. Yeah, he ain't got. That's just like Britney Spears' sister had a teenage pregnancy, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Dude, she's a millionaire with a teenage baby. I mean, with a baby as a teenager.
Yeah,
she ain't in the projects like Brenda on Tupac's video. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, poor Brenda. Hey, Brenda's legendary. Ryan said I'd go back to RG3 instead of Cam. I mean, RG3 would get out of that analyst booth in a heartbeat. You know what?
I don't know if he would.
Ryan brings up a good point. As a backup, RG3 instead of Cam. Yeah, that'd be a good one. I'd let them duke it out. That'd be pretty good. Not gonna lie.
I like the RG3 too, man.
So we also had a nice farewell from Mr. Taylor Heinicke. If you know the website, the Players Tribune, if you know the website. So Taylor, he wrote an article, and he wrote basically a really nice thank you to the fans.
Specifically to Phil.
Even Phil probably was.
He actually was speaking to me at the end. We'll get to that.
Yeah. But it's very well written. It's a quick read. We'll post a link down in the comments here, but you can find this at theplayerstribune.com where players write these articles. I'm not going to go through the thing verbatim, but Phil, did you read it?
I did.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this?
It was nice.
It was nice.
He sorely over it. He does seem to think that his fan base is our fan base. For sure. Because scroll down a little bit and I'll tell you when to stop.
There's a cool couple nuggets though. He called Scott Turner in 2020. He called Scott Turner.
Look what he says there. He was someone who believed in me from the beginning of my career. Okay, I'm going to play editor here. He was the only one who believed in me from the beginning of my career.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Scott Turner was.
And this is what
only
he said.
One who believed in him.
Right before we got off the phone, he paused and said, "Listen, man, don't hang up the cleats just yet. COVID is changing everything, and you never know in this league." He said, I hung up, and I was like, Then he talks about going back to class at ODU, and then he got the call to be the emergency quarterback to start a game against Tom Brady. And there it is, the infamous pylon dive where he hurt his shoulder. But great play. Can't deny that. Can't deny it all. Very, very good play. And what else does he go on to say? He talked about something down here. Undersized, under-recruited, underdrafted, 5 NFL different teams, practice squads, waiver claims, the XFL, the whole thing. I remember shaking my head almost in disbelief and then just telling myself, excuse my language, F it, let's go. I was basically like, let's sling it today, man. Leave it all out there on the field, have the time of your life, and show everyone what you're made of. That's kind of what he did.
I've never faulted old Heinicke for his guts. I faulted comfortable Taylor when he didn't think he was going to lose his job for suddenly being a lot more conservative and taking away what gave him his edge.
Yeah. Anyways, the article goes on to just talk about his story, how he felt about things, being the underdog, how thankful he was for an opportunity to play in Washington and how it bought him a few more times, a few good pictures from the fans. He said, listen, I'm not going to lie. It's heartbreaking to be leaving. I'm getting emotional just sitting here thinking about it. This team, the people of Washington, I just cannot thank you guys enough for the support and encouragement you showed me. So that's the gist of it. It's well written. It's
you guys
crazy.
Is the Hive. He's speaking to you. He's speaking to you.
Yeah. He enjoyed
sure
it.
Hell ain't talking to me.
He enjoyed his time. He wants to give a special thanks to Coach Rivera. He says, obviously, the end of the road for me in Washington was a little bit rocky. I think he's referring to getting benched and then not coming back against the Browns. I'm guessing that's what he's talking about, but he's very grateful for the opportunity. Yeah.
Here we go.
Even though I hate to leave you, and I cried as I walked out the door. Hey, it's like guys, Aaron Hall's type shit, man. Bye, baby. And Marcus knows what I'm talking about. God.
I know who I am. I don't have the strongest arm. No shit. I throw a decent amount of picks. No shit. I do some dumb stuff sometimes out there. Quite often. I caught to all that. You kind of did.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, he's not going to denigrate himself too much.
Yeah.
But, how come Taylor's more honest about who he is than a lot of Taylor's fans?
I don't know. Like
I said,
have some of his
Taylor Heinicke, the human being, I have no problem with. I really don't. I could sit and drink Busch Lights with him all day. I've said that a million times. It's the concept of that he's something that he isn't. And I've always said that was my problem.
Yeah.
And that you're severely limited until you get someone who's more talented. I see a lot of those same intangibles that people fell in love with in Sam Howell that these people fell in love with Taylor Heinicke. But I also see more talent. That's why I think that if you're a Taylor Heinicke fan, you should be a huge Sam Howell fan.
You should, because he can do everything he did, but better.
And further down the field with a stronger arm.
Yeah, I would bet money that he will do it better. In fact, I would probably use DraftKings to make that bet. Listen up. What's up, Command This fam? The biggest tournament in college basketball is underway, and the action is just getting started on DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. Plus, combine multiple bets for a shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings will be featuring parlays and odds boosts all tournament long. So be sure to check the DraftKings Sportsbook app every day to see what they have in store. I got Houston tonight, -7.5 over Miami, and I got Houston winning it all. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code TPPN. Right now, new customers can bet $5 on any pregame moneyline bet and get $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code TPPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And we are back. So Taylor's gone, but you know who is here? Mr. Andrew Wiley. We don't know exactly what position he's going to play. If you were going to bet, what would you say, Phil?
Right side of the offensive line. That's where I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, right side. He's which means Cosme's probably going to come into guard, which is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
Turnstile last year for
yeah,
Chiefs.
Exactly. Real quick before we go on Andrew Wiley, 2 quick comments. Marcus said a lot of fans didn't understand EB. Look at the film of Taylor Heinicke and he figured out he didn't fit his system. And Dev, yeah, I know who guy is. Marcus, gotcha. Yeah,
bye, baby.
People just hated on Wentz so much and wanted to hate Wentz. Yes, he failed here, but that is where I think the high really went nuts. You didn't see the same day one hate with Fitz.
That's only true. Because Heinicke had that one game against the Bucks. He didn't have
the legend
15 games
the legend
of 2021 built under his belt yet.
Yeah. I think Yam said it. We all except for Phil. I don't mind Taylor Heinicke. You know what I mean? I don't mind him, but I'm good on him. I wish him well. I'm glad he's in the league. Good luck in Atlanta. Excuse me. Chris McDaniel from YouTube. What's up, Chris? Joining us from the West Coast, which I'm going to argue is not the best coast, but that's okay. You and I know that it's all about the East Coast. I'm just kidding. Chris, our California guy, joining us from YouTube. Thank you for joining. So Andrew Wiley says the next 3 years are going to be special. Let's listen to a quick 1-minute blurb. He was featured on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams, who I adore dearly. Check it out.
What do you know that
Can you hear it?
will bring into the table? He's sort of this enigma. I think everyone wants him to be a head coach, thinks he could do the job as a head coach. It hasn't happened for him. He takes this job under Ron Rivera. What is the most important quality of his coaching style or him as a man that he'll bring into that building?
Yeah, he has this commanding energy about him. He truly takes control of the room. He commands respect when he talks. And he's very intense. But he truly believes in what he's preaching. And I feel like everybody in that room gets that sense right away. So it's just that commanding energy that he carries with him every minute of the day. It's pretty inspiring. So
I love that. Are you surprised he's not a head coach?
He definitely has some strong head coach qualities, and I know that he's been interviewing for a while, and I think his future is on an upward path, no doubt. And I think what we're about to do here in Washington D.C. in the next 3 years is going to be something.
Damn, something special. You dig?
I dig, especially coming from a dude who looks like the prototypical offensive lineman.
It looks like a toe.
So we got 2 Super Bowl winners coming in hot, fresh off the Super Bowl. Is there anyone else on the team who has a Super Bowl ring besides Wiley and now EB? Can you think of anyone? I can't. If anyone else thinks of someone, let me know, but I cannot off the top of my head. I can't. I can't. And knowing how to win is
Yeah.
It's a thing, right?
The guy that came in from the Giants, right?
Giants haven't won a chip in a while.
Yeah, they unless he got it from somewhere else, but no, don't know.
Not many.
Chris McDaniel says, if I move to the East Coast, where should I move to as a Washington fan?
Virginia or North Carolina.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would wait to see where the stadium's going to be at first and foremost.
I'm just saying in a general
around
sense,
that.
because even the Carolinas, they have the Panthers, but there is a deep Washington fan base down there.
Yeah, you can still get all the games and stuff too, like broadcast wise, and it's just close enough where you could just drive a couple hours and you're at the stadium, so it's not the end. Yam said, I'm glad we're plugging holes on the roster, but it's the holes that we know. A, we know we're needed, and B, players were lost so far. The team now just feels same the past 2 years. It does. At least it's not the Wizards, because they have zero. They have no plan.
Zero plan. No.
You should have heard Spencer Dinwiddie kind of trashed the team, and they deserved every second of it. He's like, there was no plan. When I'm on this team, coach says, all right, you're going to do this. You're going to do this. You're going to be 6-man. You're going to do this. I need you to pass the ball more. God, I need you to shoot the ball. He goes, there was no plan. It was like, we're going to go out there. And we're just going to throw these people. He goes, it was mind blowing. Sorry.
Yeah. You can tell when you watch them too.
Ryan said, don't go to Maryland. I live in Maryland.
Maryland is where my birth certificate resides.
Oh man!
And I was born in a county where Maryland was invented. PG County,
Maryland. Marcus says, I have to give our front office credit. We have drafted well the last 3 years. I hope we trade back and add more talent. Let's get a first round pick. You could probably get rid of the second one. I'd like to keep a third. I don't know. Yam says, if I could live anywhere in Virginia, maybe go to Alexandria. That's where I was born. If I could afford it, but I'll be back in Spotsylvania in a little over a year. Spotsylvania. Okay. I have some friends that live down there.
How long has it been since you've been down there? Because it's all developed with all the people in Alexandria who can't afford to live in Alexandria anymore.
Moved out to Stafford.
No,
past
Stafford and Spotsylvania.
Yeah, that's right. Easier commute to the DC area.
They got the hell out of the People's Republic of Alexandria.
They sure did. All right. So, Phil, next, let's talk about the June 1st designation.
Okay. So,
what is the June 1st, post June 1st designation really mean?
A lot of people are a little panicky over the fact that we don't have any more cap space right now, right? We used up a lot of we used up all of our cap space. And what you do is that any player who is designated to be cut after June 1st, their cap number is spread between the current NFL season, which is this one coming up, and the next one, right? Instead of it being all in one season. So because of that, you're going to see a lot of players released who already have a small cap hit or small cap savings. You'll see a bigger cap savings because their cap hit is going to be spread out across 2 years instead of one. So you're going to see a lot of players who we expect to be released be given that June 1st designation. See, free agency comes in waves. What you saw was our first wave, which is addressing the holes. You notice that a lot of the stars are still holding out. The market was still kind of setting itself. Everything is, everything's kind of sifting to where it needs to be. Where's the top? Where's the middle? Where's the bottom? And once these June 1st designations come, you're going to see players released that need to be released. And you're going to see that cap space grow. And we're going to be going out and probably spending some more money on getting players. That's why when a lot of people started panicking, I was like, calm down. We haven't released everybody we're going to release. We still have to do this whole June 1st designation thing. But that usually comes around draft times when you'll start seeing that. Late April and May, you'll see a lot of those designations handed out. And that means that after June 1st, those guys become free agents. And because of that, a lot of other teams' players become free agents, which gives us more players to look at bringing into this roster to replace those we are letting go. So keep that in mind. Don't panic because we hit our cap ceiling, because we're going to gain probably a considerable amount of cap space once we see some of these guys get their June 1st designation.
Yeah.
Such
they
as
they will miss.
Thomas is probably the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah, unless they restructure him before then. When you're the June 1st designation, the only downside is, since you're in that second wave, you might miss some of those OTAs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leading up to, but as a veteran, I guess you're really working out. It's nothing crazy, but I guess that's really all you're missing if you're a post June 1st.
Yeah, and realistically, the only guys who are going to suffer are the guys who already had that designation. They're not showing up to those May OTAs,
right?
So you're focusing on the guys who are going to be here next year. They aren't all the guys who are going to be here next year, but those who already are on the roster and signed and that will be retained for 2023, they'll be getting that head start. And that helps the other guys get come along faster too.
Yep. And real quick, just to reiterate Phil's point, let's just show Curtis Samuel's contract just to take the point home. Okay. You guys can see it all. Stupid picture right there. So Curtis Samuel, he has no guaranteed money after this year, but check these numbers out. June 1st is like the mark on the wall. Okay. You can release him pre-June 1st, and you're going to have a dead cap of 7.2, and then there's your cap savings. You can trade him before June 1st, all these things. Look what happens after June 1st. All these numbers go down. So the dead cap for 23, if you release him, is only 2.4 million. The dead cap for next year, 10.8. Look how much you save in cap savings, 10.6 million compared to 5.8 million if you did it before June 1st. So June 1st is a big deal. And that's why it's so important to understand why June 1st is something you have to look out for. Look, same thing in the trades too. It's the same exact thing. So I just wanted to show this number wise.
That's a perfect illustration of how that's a big jump in cap savings. And I think people just need to see that. They need to feel a little bit better about that, about how we're managing the cap. And I like the fact that we maxed the cap. And then now we're going to create more cap space. We've addressed a lot of different needs. So, Yam wants you to look up Chase Young on that chart. Chase Young, it's not going to be a big deal because he's not on a big money contract right now.
He's not.
The guy you should look at is Chase Rouillet. Is one that I would encourage you to look at.
What was his numbers? Like 7 million savings or some shit?
Well, for Chase Young, like Phil asked us to do, it's you cut him. There's no real. I guess you could pre-June 1st.
If you post June 1st, you save no money.
You save no money post June 1st.
Or post June 1st.
You can trade him and get some cap savings.
Yeah, the only way you get cap savings is if you trade him. Yeah, he's on that rookie deal.
Yeah.
But no, Chase Rouillet is the one I'm interested in because I really don't see them keeping him if he is.
Did I say Young? I meant Rouillet. I'm sorry.
No, Yam said Young.
All right, Chase Rouillet. He has 2 years left. Post June 6th release, 8.3 savings, 4 million in cap. Same with the trade.
That's why if you got rid of him
now,
almost
double.
It's
double.
It's over 4 million in savings
and dead cap. So that's a big deal.
I don't know if I'd do it. Yeah,
that's a big deal. Yam says, Phil, I'm from Fredericksburg. Technically, my home is Spotsy, but a Fredericksburg address, zip code near the town center and Battlefield. Oh, right off Route 3. Used to live in downtown Fredericksburg. I miss it. Marcus said, after June 1st, Andrew Norwell, Cornelius Lucas, and possibly Chase Rouillet. Yeah. Andrew Norwell probably wouldn't be too bad to go. I wouldn't mind if he.
How much do we? I don't think we paid him that much, did we?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't making that much. I'll show
But
you.
if you cut enough of these guys, I mean,
You know?
you can create some space.
Hey, you know, else is going to be that inside linebacker Danny Trevathan. He's going to be a free agent.
That dude used to be good back in a long time ago.
I know, but I don't know what he's making this year. What he's potentially Benning potato.
I can't believe that Downtown Altar retired, man. Nobody wanted him. It's crazy.
Crazy. Who do we say we were looking up?
Norwell.
What do we call him? Not well. Andrew Norwell. Andrew Norwell. He's only guaranteed under contract this 1 year. Once again, it's the June 1st designation. Dead cap 2023 would be 700,000. 2024 would be 2.1 after June 1st, and cap savings of 4.3. You do that before June 1st, and it's only a cap savings of 2.28. So there it is, black and white. Can't get around it. Yam says, I can't see any other teams in the NFC is getting worse to a point we leapfrog them other than Dallas. I think Dallas is going to have a down year. They might. I don't think we know. Still a little bit premature. We'll see how they do, what other moves they got to make. We still have the draft. Yam said he's not an advocate for us to dump Young, but if we get anything from him, I would 100% entertain the thought. I think at the end of this year is when you make that decision, because if Montez Sweat, let's just say Montez Sweat just plays out of his mind and Chase Young doesn't, then it's time for that conversation. All right, let's move Chase, let's sign Montez, and let's move on. We got Allen, Payne, Sweat, Chase, thank you, bye. Because you're going to have to pay him, and you just can't. So that's what I would do personally.
We got $100 million next year. We can definitely sign him.
How do we have $100 million?
I don't know. I saw it on Twitter.
Really?
I think we got like a
It's
crazy.
true.
Yeah, I think we got a crazy buttload amount of money next year. Like,
hold on. Let's see. I got it right here, dude. I got it right here.
Especially if we find out that Hal's a franchise quarterback.
The Washington Commanders, as of right now, next year has $56 million for 2024. That's right now. All the pre June 1st, and we have $56 million. The Bears have $208 million. Oh my gosh! Giants have $137.
Man, I saw a whole article how Washington would have $100 million next year. Like,
yeah, it's probably if they do this, then do that, then do this, then do that. One other thing, if you know who the trainer, Bubba Tyer, been with this team for, Phil probably knows, for a million years. He's been with the team forever. He received an award of excellence from the Hall of Fame. It's a new program to acknowledge contributors to the game. Compliments of Michael Phillips on Twitter.
Bubba Tyer was,
I don't know who that is.
When he retired, had become the most respected trainer in the league.
Well known.
Period. If you want to know one of the secrets, the Michael secret stuff for Joe Gibbs's dynasty, it was Bubba Tyer. He kept guys who came back from injury healthy. Guys were durable, and the guys who even weren't, they were rehabbed well. And he was a strength coach, but he was also a conditioning coach, and he also
37 years.
Staff.
37 years on this team.
Oh yeah, he went way past the Gibbs era. In fact,
25 of them as the head athletic trainer.
In fact, I believe he was here for both of Gibbs's runs. He never left the team.
He was. He certainly was. He joined the team in 1971 under George Allen.
Think of it that way. And he left in 2008. 5
Super Bowl appearances.
He's the only one to be here for all 5.
Sickness. Lastly, we thought we would just remind everyone that the Defenders are 5-0, baby. 5-0 with 2 games left.
Call ain't the law.
There's a day game, and then there's a evening. I think it's a 12 or 1
Monday night. They play the Roughnecks.
Yeah,
of Houston
Roughnecks.
I have been the biggest villain in XFL Access on Facebook because I have sat there and watched St. Louis fans completely shift the goalpost from we're the best team, and then they lost to us. And it's, well, we had the most fans. And then they lost to us again in their stadium because they kept saying, "Oh, you better learn how to play deaf because we're going to be too loud for you to operate." And then the defenders ran all over them again.
I thought like 20,000 motherfuckers at the games.
38.
But that's big for them, man. It's huge.
Yeah, I'm saying, where's this deaf shit come from, though?
Because it's so loud. They got the best fans in the XFL.
Well, they're trying to play that whole 12 thing.
Okay, and let's be honest here. Let's be real. St. Louis doesn't have a football team.
No, they do not.
Because nobody came to watch the Rams, who have since been to 2 Super Bowls since they left. Yeah, 2 Super Bowls since they left St. Louis. They couldn't even keep a team that had been to Super Bowls and have gone to Super Bowls since. They couldn't keep them. They couldn't keep St. Louis Cardinals. All right. So they're going to have their first professional football team in a while, and they half fill a stadium.
Yeah.
Now we're supposed to be amazed.
I know.
What the hell else is there to do in freaking St. Louis in March?
Yeah.
Nothing. The weather sucks, and you have a dome. It's an excuse people get inside.
You got the arch.
Lost.
The St. Louis Arch. Yam says, funny how after week 3, Renegades fans were crowing hard against DC too, Phil. They've been super quiet these past 2 weeks.
St. Louis. Here's what I love about St. Louis fans. Well, we'll see you in the playoffs. You're
they got a wonderful zoo.
Us.
My daughter lives in St. Louis, but she goes to school in Arizona, but she lives in St. Louis, and they got a good zoo there. I've taken all 3 of my baby's mamas to that motherfucker before at one time.
Who's going in February, March? Nobody. There's nothing to do in St. Louis until the weather gets warm.
That's
Chris
true.
McDaniel asked,
Cardinals games.
Will we be able to make enough room for Lamar and the Cap without hurting our roster too much to be worth it?
Yeah, they'll push it on to next year, like they did Geno Smith this year.
Yeah, if you get a small contract up front, like let's say you're paying $15 million,
you won't hurt the roster. You can find ways
to not hurt.
You can find ways to not hurt the roster this year.
Yeah, about 2 or 3 years you'll be good. Then it's like the chickens come home to roost.
Yam says the cap is a myth. It is a myth, but we also thought it was a myth at one point. If you remember, then we got our asses fine draft picks, so we know it's not actually a myth. If you remember
it was a myth then. They just
a myth then
played us with some shenanigans.
There's no cap this year. We can do whatever we want.
Except for y'all niggas.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Habitual line steppers. Wrong. So, yeah, it'd be cool to get Lamar. I think if Lamar plays on a 1-year deal, let's say he plays for $32 million, plays for the Ravens, and Sam does not look like the truth, man. If you don't go at Lamar next year or go get up into the top 5,
get Taylor Williams.
Ron,
that's why I didn't want your boy, man. I was like, man, we'll be too good without if Hal fails. You need to that's why I'm a proponent of just drafting a rookie. I ain't say first round, just draft one, because if he sucks, not if he gets hurt, but if he sucks, go to the rookie, man. And then maybe he might not suck. And if he does, cool. Caleb Williams, Shador Sanders, those guys will be here next year.
Yeah. Spencer Rattler.
Yeah,
but you got it. No, I hate that. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with
no
him.
fast player, man, but he's a piece of shit. No, I don't want that
he's
here,
an
man.
ass.
Yeah.
He is an ass.
He reminds me of Trey Young down there in Atlanta. He kind of reminds me of Trey Young. Like I like. Trey
I think
Young's
he's
nice.
worse. You should watch
Trey
his.
Nice. I don't want that motherfucker on the
What's
team.
the high school show? Elite 13 or Elite 11, where they bring like the top 11 player.
I watched that. I watched it. I watched this YouTube documentary too. It's still a dick.
People hate him.
Still a dick, man. I don't want that on the team. No. It's like having the boy plus for the Memphis Grizzlies. What's his name? Guard. He has. Shit.
We missed all that.
Yeah, who are you talking about?
There's a guy on Memphis. He's a I can't think of his name. He's like an asshole nobody likes. I'll tell you his name.
Really?
Yeah, nobody likes him.
I know you're talking about. I can't think of his name, but he's an asshole towards.
Yeah, he's a complete asshole. Nobody likes him, right? And he went and traded jerseys, which these new players they do that now. And Kyrie Irving was like, "Nah, bro, I don't want your jersey." Basically,
Dylan Brooks.
That's his name. Oh, my bad. I watch a lot of NBA not to have known that off top. But yeah. And Dylan Brooks is nice too. He's not a bad player, bro.
No.
Yeah, he's not a bad player at all. But
I mean,
he's an asshole.
One of the worst assholes is Grayson Allen.
He's like a Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen.
I remember Donovan Mitchell slapped him at Louisville. Look that YouTube clip up where he slapped him for fouling.
He's a Duke guy?
Yeah, he went to Duke. And Duke. They won a championship, beat the shit out of him.
That's how them Duke boys are.
Donovan Mitchell slapped the shit out of him on the court, man.
He's still doing it in the NBA. And then he almost got his shit pushed in when he does that thing where he trips people. And
that's what he did to Donovan Mitchell. Look it up. Donovan Mitchell in college, man. He tried to trip him with Louisville, and he turned around and slapped the fuck out of him. Got a tick.
Yeah.
Slapped him.
Yeah. Chris says it takes a lot of finagling to make it work out for the larger contracts, and Lamar is asking for a lot. The NFL Players Association just wrote a letter and warned all the teams that there is a representative from Lamar that is going around asking teams to negotiate on his behalf, and I think they're telling him to not do business with this individual because he is not
Lamar?
A certified with the voice changer.
Lamar's homeboy. It's Lamar Jackson.
They're saying don't do business with this guy because he's not certified by the NFL Players Association. So
Lamar done got his homeboy to negotiate his contract like a drug deal.
Yeah, Yam's right. The Deshaun Watson and Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Browns, really messed it up, giving him that 100% guaranteed quarterback contract, and now all the owners are like, dude, what are you doing?
The fucked up thing is Lamar has never said he wanted a fully guaranteed contract. Like he's never said that.
That's the media running with it.
Yeah. He actually said that one time. I've never said I wanted any of that.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what he wants because you can't talk to him.
Correct. You got to go through his proxy.
Him with his mama.
Shout outs, fellas. What you got?
Shout out to me, man. I'm doing one song a day. I'm at 4 out of 4.
Bam, bam.
Haven't mixed any of them, but I just spread them straight out. So, going pretty good.
I like it.
Goodness, I don't even know who I want to shout out today.
Shout out to Yam, man. Where the hell you been at, Yam?
Yam's been in school.
Shout out to Yam for being here for the entire podcast.
Yeah, well, usually he has to jump off, so we appreciate it. Yeah, shout out
to we gotta get Yam on the next pod when we do an anime one.
Eventually, we talked about anime early on here for a few minutes. Yeah. He said, random note, salute to Ash Ketchum, Satoshi in Japan. 26 years of Ash and Pikachu being the main characters of anime comes to an end today. That's what he said starting off.
What's this, Yam?
What is it?
Let me see it.
Oh, we'll see it. Hold up, Dev.
Zelda Hearts.
Ah, nice. Shout out to Yam. Shout out to Marcus for joining. Trell, appreciate you popping in. Greg Delaney, Chris McDaniel, Marcus Edlin, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for the comments, man. We really appreciate it. Like I said, this team is the gift that keeps on giving with content. We still are, I think we're a month away from the draft, give or take. The combines are over. We're starting pro days now. So
everybody's on PFF doing mock drafts like I am.
That's right. I have yet to do a mock draft.
There you go.
I haven't either.
Shout out to Pro Football Focus's mock drafts. It gives me something to do with
their simulate.
I've only been able to. I haven't watched a lot of college football last year. Admittedly, I'm kind of just learning players, but I've gotten most of the defensive backs and quarterbacks out of the way and the running backs. I need to start on the meat and potatoes of the players, I guess.
Yep. Like Yam said, before you all dip, hit the like button. Yes, the draft is going to be fun, Chris. It sure is. And like Yam said, if you're watching this on YouTube, please go like and subscribe. Share. We appreciate the subs are flowing in. We really appreciate it. We caught the YouTube algorithm. It's pretty nice. It's pretty awesome. Thank you, especially if you're catching this on a replay. And you can always catch this content on any of your favorite audio podcast platforms. Just search for Command This and we'll be there. Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart. They're all out there. You can listen to it. We would greatly appreciate it. And we'll be back next Thursday for another live show. We'll be there.
Oh,
yes, sir. Yeah, I'm almost 4K. That's right. A very quiet 4K. Yeah. But you know what? We're proud of all of those units.
The goal is to be at 5K by football season.
Yeah. I'm proud of every one of those units, Dev.
Chocolate Daddy.
Chocolate Daddy.
The struggle has been real.
How many kookaroos do you own? I'm gonna be all right.
I'm gonna watch that shit today, man. Tonight.
Get him.
Oh yeah, shout out to the Mandalorian. A pretty good episode today.
Don't tell me. I haven't watched yet.
I haven't watched yet.
Don't
well, they show where dude how he got rescued.
Okay.
Grogu.
Yeah. Chris says mock drafts continue to change as the offseason continues. It does. The different ratings tweak people, different stuff like that. Not G Unity. I mean, if you've seen Get Him to the Greek, this is that where it's
you gotta watch Get Him to the Greek.
Dave Kroll. He had an artist he signed named Chocolate Daddy, and he sold, what was it, 500 units or something like that.
By the way, Get Him to the Greek, one of the greatest not serious soundtracks you can purchase, man. That and Walk Hard are like my favorite. I'll be at work just bumping Walk Hard and
the Dewey Cox story. Walk Hard.
Oh my God, man! I know every one of in my dreams you're blowing me. Kisses. I know all the songs, man. I know every
you
song.
Always cover my
between that and Hamilton, I pretty much know every song ever created in movie theater history.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the scene where Diddy is talking to them about we need new ideas. And right before Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Talks about bringing Aldous Snow back for a tour. It's that scene right there where they're all listening. It's funny. You got to watch it. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in, everyone. Like I said, we'll be back next Thursday. You can always catch us on the replay. And hit us up on social media. You know me, Dev and Phil are at the command this handle. We really appreciate it. All right. As always, we love you. Peace.
So train.
We out.